Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars, and let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, starting on this 1 day time frame for Bitcoin. And before I get into the actual analysis today, I want to be very clear that nothing I say in this video is my personal opinion. I am only sharing the objective technical analysis and nothing more. So zooming in on this 1 day time frame, then you can see that after we rejected from this critical area of resistance from 95 all the way up to 96k, we are now in this big area of support sitting from 92,000 all the way down to 90k. Besides that, if we look at the market structure for Bitcoin, nothing has changed here. We are still bearish biased so long as we are trading below 115.5k, or at the very least so long as we are trading below this descending trend line. Right now this area of resistance in terms of this descending trend line is sitting at 103,000, so we have quite a ways to go before we can start talking about a bigger high time frame move to the upside. Although that does not exclude us from taking advantage of the shorter term moves in the market as well. We are basically just looking at lower highs and lower lows. Right now we are of course forming a new lower low, but while we are still in this bearish structure, we should also expect any kind of counter trend bounce to end up rolling over and resulting in a new lower low being formed once again. So that is what I mean by bearish biased. Right now we are already in the process of making a new lower low though, so it's just a matter of seeing how low this is actually going to end up going. And besides that, we should also take a look at the RSI momentum indicator, because this is now starting to dip into oversold territory, also something I talked about in yesterday's video. But the lower we end up going into oversold territory here, the more likely it is that we are going to see some kind of at least short-term break from this extreme bearish sentiment and bearish momentum that we are seeing right now. However, we do still have quite a ways to go before we are really in deep oversold territory. The key thing that I'm really looking out for here is to see some kind of break of this descending trend line. Until then, it just makes sense to be more bearish on Bitcoin, more bearish biased on these higher time frames. Same thing here for this 3-day time frame. This is still playing out a bearish divergence, which is when you have higher highs in the Bitcoin price and lower highs in the RSI momentum indicator, typically pointing towards us getting a break from all of this bullish price action we saw here recently, either in the form of some choppy sideways price action or potentially some bearish momentum. And so far this is just playing out some bearish momentum. I can also take a quick look at this 4-hour time frame, but as you can see by this arrow here, in terms of the signals on this time frame, even nothing has really changed since about 106k in the Bitcoin price. It has just been nothing but bearish here. There is still the potential of some kind of bullish divergence forming here, but that still has not confirmed. So while it is technically still possible, do keep in mind that we are just in a very, very steep and pretty violent downtrend at the moment. As always, keep an objective outlook on the market here, but understand at the same time that we are in a severe downtrend at the moment. So looking at any of this as a bullish setup is going to be extremely risky on every single time frame right now. Something that is noteworthy though is that on this Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we have now taken out a lot of liquidity to the downside. This big pocket has already fully been taken out now, which means that we do have some liquidity left around 86k and even 83k as well. However, most of the liquidity is actually to the upside, and you can see this on this 2-week Bitcoin liquidation heat map as well. Most of that downside liquidity has been taken out, and there is still a bunch of liquidity to the upside left, for example, already at around 93k, but also 97 and 98,000. So I'm going to keep it a bit short today because nothing has changed since yesterday's video. Besides that, I want to thank you guys for 16,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate that. And lastly, before I close off today, guys, I'm going to leave a link in the bottom left of the screen right now. In fact, let me quickly show you right here, because this is the page you will be going towards. You can claim up to $3,000 in trading and depositing bonuses if you create a new account on Blowfin using that link. And besides that, you also get a 15% discount on all your trading fees. So if you're interested in that, make sure to read all the rules down at the bottom right here. But either way, if you do end up taking advantage of that bonus or not, thank you for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.